I'm going to share my screen now so that we can start. So Mona, the way I want us to go is that I want us to be able to cover the syllabus for what you have for your common entrance. Then we can go further to solving more advanced mathematics, because we want you to become a very good mathematician, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so we're going to cover your common entrance syllabus first, so that anytime you want to write common entrance, want you to get very high score, very good grade. Then syllabus, we're going to move ahead to solving more difficult mathematics that are a little bit ahead of your class. But those mathematics, they are going to help you to become a very good mathematician.
Okay, sir.
Are you excited to do such?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to open up the platform that we're using so that we can start up something. Okay. So I'm going to quickly go to share my screen. Okay, please you confirm if you can see my screen.
I can see your screen, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down. This is common entrance, and what we had before, we've changed it. So the other day we looked at shapes, and we looked at some addition, subtraction, and the rest. So today we're gonna look at vital mathematical formulas. We're going to look at tests for divisibility, and we're going to solve some problems immediately so that we can start letting you have the right skills. Now, so we want to look at some things first before we start. So we're going to be looking at some vital mathematical formulas. So Mona, I want you to understand that 100 kobo is equivalent to 1 naira. Are you aware?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I also want you to understand that 1,000 milligram is equal to 1 gram. So when we're talking about milli, we're talking about 1,000. So 1,000 milligram is equal to 1 gram, whereas 1,000 gram is equivalent to 1 kilogram, and 1,000 kilogram is equivalent to 1 ton. Una, can you understand that? Can you understand
Yes,
that?
I can.
Okay. So
Yes,
we're going to
sir.
move a little bit forward. I also want you to understand that 10 millimeters is the same thing as saying 1 centimeter. And that 10 centimeter is the same thing as saying 1 decimeter. And 10 decimeter is the same thing as saying 1 meter. And 1,000 meters is the same as saying 1 kilometer. Are you clear with that?
Okay, sir.
So whenever we're talking about kobo and naira, we're talking about measuring money. We're talking about measuring what?
Money.
Money. But whenever we're talking about kilogram, gram,
Wait.
tons, milligram, we're talking of what?
Wait. Yes, sir.
Good. Measurement of weight. Good. But when we're talking about meter, centimeter, decimeter, kilometer, then we're talking about measurement of length. We're talking about measurement of what?
Length.
Length. Okay. Now let's move on to area. Now, whenever we're talking about square millimeter, square centimeter, square decimeter, square meters, then we're talking about area. We're talking about what?
Area.
Good. So 1,000 square millimeters is the same thing as saying 1 square centimeter. I mean, 100 square millimeters is the same thing as saying 1 square centimeter. and 100 square centimeters is something I say 1 square decimeter. And 100 square meters, 100 hectares is something I say 1 square kilometer. And 100 square decimeter is something I say 1 square meter. So those are the major areas, but those of areas and volumes, the more we'll get to solving problems, the more you understand them. So they are not as important as these first three. So these first three, money, weight, and length, those are the ones I want you to get today. So the first assignment I'm going to give you is to write for me the various conversions for money, weight, and length. So write for me the various conversion for what, and what?
Money, weight, and length.
Good. So you're going to do it exactly the way you did the other one. Then you submit to me. Then for volume, we talk about liters for volume. Liters. Then for time, we'll talk about seconds. So for the purpose of what we are going to be solving now. Okay. Mona, are you still listening?
Yes, sir.
So your assignment is for money, weight, length, and money, weight, length, and time.
Yes, sir.
I just added one last one, but time, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So for this time, I don't want you to do the whole of them. Okay, just do the whole of them, no problem. But we're going to, and 60 minutes make 1 hour, and 4 hours make 1 day, and 7 days make 1 week, and 30 days make 1 month, and 12 months or 365 days make 1 year, and 366 days make 1 leap year, and 10 years make a decade, and 100 years make a century. Are we clear on that?
Yes, sir.
So after learning these basics, we are going to use them to solve
So
problems.
is it 31 or 30 days that make 1 month?
Okay, in some months we have 31, in some months we have 29, then in some months we also have 30. So that's why we just took the average of 30, okay?
Okay, sir.
But you're not wrong if you say 31. 31 is also okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but for basic mathematical conversions, we are going to be using 30 for now, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I want you to do assignment for me. Get me the conversions for money. In money, we looked at kobo and naira, then for weight, and then for length, and then for time. So those are the assignments that you have now, but I'm going to give you more with time. So I want you to be taking note of the assignments, okay?
Okay, sir.
Good. So after the class, you can also ask Chika. Chika will help you open up these very notes I'm using for you. She can always access it. It's on our platform, Educate Africans, and that's where I'm teaching you from. So all the notes are always there. So at your own time, even if you're not able to get them when I'm teaching, you can always go back there and see them, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's look at some vital mathematical formulas that you're going to be using so much in doing so many calculations. And all these are within your curriculum for your common entrance exams. And like I said, once you cover your curriculum, you're going to use the first 1 month to cover your curriculum. Then upper month will start solving advanced mathematics that will stretch your understanding and make you to be a very, very good mathematician, okay? Okay, can we start now?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's start with the vital mathematical formula. Now, whenever you want to calculate the area of a rectangle, there's a formula for that. And the formula is length times breadth. The formula is what? Length times breadth. So I'm going to open up a rectangle.
Length times breadth.
Go, length times breadth. You can write it somewhere. So I'm going to open up this again. Are you seeing the new place I'm opening? Can you see it on your own?
Yes. EducateAfricans.com.
Good. That's the platform you're going to be using to learn. Everything you will learn is going to be put there. Both the common entrance that we're preparing you for and the further mathematics that you're going to be learning, all of them are going to be in Educate Africa. So you need to learn how to use the platform. The platform is for learning. It's for everything you need. And We're always going to be updating it every day, every two days, every 3 days. Once you go there, you're going to see some things change. So that's what I'm going to be using for you. So before I always have you in a class, I will always go to the Educate Africans and I will update the class lectures there first. Then when we see, we'll do it. So I'm going to open up shapes. Why I want to open up shapes is because I want to show you
the area of the
shapes.
rectangle.
Yeah, I want to show you the rectangles. Good. So if you go back to the Educate Africans now, you'll see the video of what I already taught you. The class we had the other time. So if you want to replay it and learn again, you can play it. This is the video because while I'm teaching you, I'm also recording it. So this is the video of the class we had the other time. Do you remember we did something about squares, addition, subtraction, and the rest? Can you remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so all those are already on this platform already. So I'm going to scroll down, and we also updated this now to look different. So this is a rectangle. Can you see a rectangle?
Yes, sir, I can see.
So I'm going to be moving from this slide to this other slide. Can you see the two slides I'm jumping from?
Yes, sir, I can see them.
From one to one. Good. So in this one, I'm going to show you the shape. So as you're looking here, you're going to see the shape that I want to talk about. Then when I move to the next slide, I'll be able to show you the formula to calculate the area of that shape. Are we clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mona, this is the shape. This is a rectangle. So this is the length of the rectangle. This down one is the length. The longer one is the length, whereas the other one is the breadth. So when you say area of this rectangle is going to be this length times this breadth. So Mona, I'm going to give you an assignment now. Should I give you? Okay, I can't hear you. Maybe your network is bad. But given that the area...
Excuse me, sir. Right? The area of a rectangle is length times width.
Yeah, length times width. Sorry. I think I misspoke. Length
You
times
write there that it says length times width of area of a rectangle is length times width.
Yes, length times width. You are correct. Can you hear me? Can I continue? Hello, Mona.
Okay, sir.
Good. So you're right. It's length times width and not breadth, actually. I think I missed a slip of tongue. So this is the length. This is the width. So that's why we call it length times width. So the length is the longer side and the width is the shorter side. So I'm going to give you an quick assignment here. So let's say that the length of this rectangle is 4 and the width is 2. Can you tell me the area of this rectangle? If the length is 4 and the width is 2, using the formula that we just stated, length times width as the area, what's going to be the area of that rectangle?
8 centimeters.
Huh?
8 centimeters.
Thank you. So it's going to be 8. But I didn't mention the unit. So if they are in centimeters, then it's going to be 8 cm squared because areas are measured in length squared. Are you clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the second one that they wrote, these are length of a rectangle is simply if you already know the area, so you make length the subject of the formula. So you're going to be area over width to give you the length. Then if you already know the length and you're looking for the width, then it's going to be area over length to give you the width. Are we clear on that? But let's not don't concentrate on that yet because I'm going to give you more. Then let's talk about the area of a square. Do you know the shape called square?
Yes, sir.
This one, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the area of this is also length times width, just as that for rectangle. The only difference is that for a square, the length and the width
Divided.
are always equal. The length and the width, yeah, they're always equal. the length here is always equal to the length here, so they're always equal. So let's say that this square is having 4 as the length and the width also has 4. Then I tell you, get me the area of the square. What is it going to be?
My answer is going to be,
okay, let's say 4 cm length and 4 cm width. What's going to be the area of the square?
area of the square is going to be 1 centimeter square.
No. You know that the area of a square is what? The length times the width.
Divided.
No. This is a mistake here. It should be times, please. Don't use this. Don't use this divided.
Okay.
The person that wrote it made a mistake. This is times, please. I'm going to correct it. This times. So the area of the square is going to be what? If you have 4 cm here, 16 centimeter square. Perfect. 16 centimeter square. That's what it's going to be. Okay. So, okay. So I'm going to go down again. Okay, so please, you're going to note these formulas. Mona, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
So all these formulas, you're going to note them for area of a rectangle. Then the length of a rectangle given the area and the width, this is how you calculate it. Then the width of a rectangle given the area and the length, this is how you calculate it. Then the area of a square, this is times and not divided. Are you clear on that? I'm going to correct it and re-upload.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is how you get the perimeter of a square. And this is how you get the perimeter, the area of 4 walls. This is the length of a rectangular solid. Area of a triangle, half base times height. Area of a circle.
Radius times 2 radius times pi.
Yeah, this one is
2 pi
r squared times pi. Or you say pi r squared for the area.
Okay.
Pi r squared. But for the circumference is 2 pi r. Or you say diameter pi or pi diameter. Because diameter is the same thing as saying 2r.
Yes.
Are you clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else? Then simple interest, the formula is principal times time times rate all over 100.
P times. Yes, sir.
Okay. And gain or profit is equal to selling price minus cost price, whereas loss is cost price minus selling price. Okay. So Mona, we're going to be using all these formulas to solve some problems now, so that as we are solving, you're taking note of the formulas much more better. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Well, I want you to look at all these formulas. Look at them and identify for me the ones that you think are not correct. Okay. So Mona, have you been seeing these formulas before? Like, have you been using them to solve problems in mathematics?
Okay, sir.
Mona, I'm asking you, have you been solving problems in mathematics?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want you to.
I'm not area of a triangle.
Okay. So I want you to look at the formulas and tell me the ones that, like this circumference of a circle, I want you to give me equivalent of this diameter pi, and the equivalence is 2 pi r, because diameter is the same thing as saying 2r. So I want you to look at these formulas, write them down in your notes, study them, because we are going to be using them to solve a whole lot of problems. Okay, so let's solve some problems now. Let's solve some problems. Mona, are you ready to solve some problems with what we've learned?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's solve some typical problems. So number one problem says, how many seconds are there in 8 minutes, 12 seconds? How many seconds are there in 8 minutes, 12 seconds? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the formulas that we just checked out so that you can get an insight to what we. So I'm going to click on these formulas. I'm going between these two slides so that you can.
Seconds are 492.
The answer is 492.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that is good. That is good. That is good, Mona. You're very intelligent. I love that. You're already there before I get to solving the problems. Okay. So why we learned these vital mathematical formulas is that the conversions here are going to be used in subsequent solving. When we are solving our problems, you're going to find out that we're going to be using them a lot, and that's why we looked at them. So now we're talking about time. So that's why we didn't use money, weight, or length. But in subsequent ones, we're going to be using money, weight, and length. But the one we use now is the time conversion. Mona, which one did we use now? Time conversion. Say time conversion.
Time conversion.
Good, that's what we use. And which one did we use actually in this time conversion? Is this the first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line? Which of them?
The first line.
First line, good. Because the first line says that 1 minute represents 60 seconds, or 60 seconds represents 1 minute. That's what the first line said. And that's why here we said, in order to solve this, we need to convert everything to seconds. We need to, first of all, convert everything to what?
Seconds.
Seconds, because seconds is what the answers are in. So they say how many seconds? That's what they are looking for. They are looking for seconds. So you have to convert every minute that you have into seconds. So you see that this 12 is already in seconds. So we kept this 12 seconds somewhere. We are not going to touch it because it's already in seconds. But we're going to add it up to what 8 minutes gives us in seconds. And we found out that 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. That means that 8 minutes is going to be 80 times 60. So if you take 80 times 60, it's going to give us 480. So 480 plus that 12 seconds that we already had before is going to give us 492 seconds. Was that how you came about your answer, Mona?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a very fast one now to check out your being able to do it. So I'm going to ask you now, Mona, how many seconds are there in 5 minutes, 12 seconds? So I just changed this 8 to 5. How many seconds are there in 5 minutes, 12?
There are 312 seconds. 312 seconds.
Okay, let's do it together. So it's going to be, and 5 times 6, we already know is 30. So 30 plus this 0 that is here, 300 plus 312 seconds. Wow. Wanna clap for yourself.
300.
Wanna clap for yourself. I can't hear your clap. But you did well. 312 seconds. Was that what you got? Lamona, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you did very well. So let's try another thing. So
yes,
we looked at basic conversion in seconds. So I would like you to write this down. Can you write it? Can you get the note down somehow? Are you going to do that after the class?
Okay.
How are you going to do it? After the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move forward to another problem.
Yes.
So all these problems are likely problems that you're going to face in your common interest. So you have to you have to get them to yourself. You have to start in time to get them to yourself, so that once you get to writing, you're going to be very fast, efficient, and effective. So let's look at this simple problem. We'll call it simplified problem. So it's a little bit ahead of what you've done so far. but it's good for you because you're gonna use this one to warm your brain while we finish. So I want you to learn about simplification, very important. Now, very importantly, whenever you're given a simplification problem, you always solve the ones inside the bracket first. You finish up the one in this bracket, then finish up the one in this other bracket before you now bring them together. So don't go cross solving. You have to concentrate on one bracket first, then before you can relate the two together. So the problem says simplify 2 over 5 plus 2 over 7 times 1 minus 1 over 8. So that's the problem. So when you simplify, it simply means to have a single fraction for these. So what way are you going to solve it? The first thing you do is that you're going to find the LCM for the denominators. So what is that common number that both 5 and 7 can divide? It is 35. So that's why we have 35 here. So if you now say 35 divided by 5, you're going to have 7. Then if you say 7 times 2, you're going to have 14. That's how we came about this 14. Then if you also say 35 divided by 7, you're going to have 5. And 5 times another 2, you're going to have 10. That's how we came about 10 here. So when we now say 14 plus 10 is 24, then we'll have this 45, 35 down here again. Then for this very one, because you have 1 is the same thing as saying 1 over 1, because 1 is a fraction form. So that's why we have 1 over 1 here. This same 1 over 8, that's what we have here. Then we're going to look for that number, that common number that both 1 and 8 can divide. And that number is 8, so put it here. So when we say 8 divided by 1 is 8. 8 times 1, 8. Write 8 here. Then 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. We have 1. So when we now do 8 minus 1, we have 7. Then we'll still bring back this 8 here. So we now have 24 over 35 multiplied by 7 over 8. So we're going to do something to bring this down. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. 35 divided by 7 is 5. So we'll now have 5 under here. But here, 4 into 8 is going to give us 2. I mean, 2 divided by 8 divided by 4 is going to give us 2. 24 divided by 4 is going to give us 6. So now we have 6 up and we have 5 and 2 down. So we have 6 all over 5 times 2. 2 divides itself goes 6 divided by 2, 3. So we have 3 over 5. And that makes option C the right answer. So Mona, did you understand it, or do I come again? Mona, your device is on mute, so I'm not going to hear you even when you're talking. So if you want to talk, you're going to unmute your device first. Okay, so you can talk now.
I said the line was cracking, so I could not hear what you were saying.
Okay, so I'm going to go through it again, okay? Can you hear me very well now so that I go through it? Mona, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whenever you're simplifying fractions like this, you have to solve the ones in the one that you have in the bracket. To solve this one out first, then solve this one out first, then you relate the two of them. And whenever you're solving fractions, you need to find a number that is common to both of the denominators. So what number, we call that number LCM, the number that both 5 and 7 can divide without a remainder, that is 35. So we'll now put it here. So you can simply also find it by simply saying 5 times 7. It also gives you 35. So you now divide that number by any of them and multiply the numerator by that. So if you divide 35 over divided by 5 is 7. That's why I wrote 7 here. 7 times 2 is 14. Now if you do 35 divided by 7 is 5. That's why I wrote 5 here. 5 times 2 is 10. So this is the new fraction you have, 14 plus 10, which is 24 all over 35. That's the new fraction you have. So do the same thing for this one. 1 is the same thing as saying 1 over 1. So get the LCM of 1 and 8. So what is that 1 and 8 can divide and get not get any remainder? That is 8. So you write 8 here. So when you say 8 divided by 1 is 1. 8 divided by 1 is 8. 8 times 1, 8. You have 8 here. Then 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 1, 1. You have 1 here. So the new fraction is now 8 minus 1, which is 7, all over this 8. So these two mixed fraction is now reduced to just these two, 24 over 35 times 7 over 8. So if you divide out, you're going to get 3 over 5. So how do you divide out? By saying you can divide this and this by 7. This divided by 7 is 1. This 35 divided by 7 is 5. So you now have 5 here. Then when you divide these other 2 by 4, because 4 can go in them, 24 divided by 4 is 6. 24 divided 8 divided by 4 is 2. So you now have this 6, you bring it here. Then this 5 and this 2, you bring the 2 of them here. Now 6 divided by 2 is 3. So you have left 3 over 5. And that makes option C the right answer. Mona, is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an assignment on this very one so that you try it out. So once you try it out, you're going to give me the right answer. So can you write now? I want you to write assignment.
Yes, sir.
Have you written that? Number
Yes,
one. Number one is how many seconds? No, it's not going to be seconds this time around. Oh, let's check out. How many cobbles? Have you written how many cobbles?
Yes, sir.
How many cobbles are there in 1 naira 60 kobo? No, how many cobbles are there in 1 naira 25 kobo? How many cobbles are there in? No. Mona, are you listening? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
How many cobbles are there in 2 naira 25 kobo? How many cobbles are there in 2 naira 25 kobo? How many cobbles are there in 2 naira 25 kobo? Mona, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
So read out the question for me.
How many cobbles are there in 2 naira 25 cobbles?
Perfect. That's the first question. So the second question now is, Mona, are you looking at these? Are you looking at this very problem? Are you looking at this very problem? Can you see this simplified problem?
Yes, sir.
I want you to write it exactly the way it is, but instead of having 1 here, I want you to have 1 over 2. 1 over 2 should be here instead of 1 here. So solve it.
Okay, sir.
And submit to me. You got it back? Have you written it down? Have you written the expression down?
I'm almost done, sir.
Okay. So the only thing you change here is that here now instead of 1, you're gonna have 1 over 2. That is half. So simplify it and get me the answer. So you have two solved problem. You're gonna have 2 problems to solve. Then you're gonna also present to me the conversions for. You're gonna present for me the conversions for weight, length,
Money,
and
length, weight, and time.
And time, yeah, together with these solved problems. So I'll be expecting them, and once you do them, snap them and send over to me, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you. See you when I see you. God bless you.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.